Good morning from the ferry docks here in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Now in our last video we were finishing up seeing the amazing Giant's Causeway up on the northern coast of this country, and we told y'all we were headed towards Belfast, and that's what we did. And we found a campsite about 30 minutes outside of town. It was a free overnighting spot in the parking lot of a beautiful city park. You could tell lots of locals came there, and we met a few other people in camper vans. A really nice couple from the Netherlands that had rented a camper van for a little over a week here, and we're getting ready to head back home. Got to spend a little quality time chatting those guys up, and they were super cool, so hey to you guys. But we decided we are not taking you into the city of Belfast. You know, cities are difficult for us in the van, so this is a city we are deciding to bypass. So this morning we got up, we headed straight to the ferry. I booked this ferry in advance, which is very advisable over here in Europe. And to get from Northern Ireland to Scotland, which is where we are headed, will take us 2 to 2.5 hours, and the ferry ticket would have cost about £187. But we did something different this time. We added a cabin for 45 more pounds. And the reason we did that is because they have showers. So on the last ferry, you sit in very uncomfortable chairs. So we decided we'd rent a cabin this time, be a little bit more comfortable, and take advantage of the shower. So we're going to see how that works out. So we have come through the security checkpoints here. We are in line waiting to get on the ferry, and it is time to take you guys to Scotland. So let's go.
All right, Snow opted for the fancy upgrade.
40 pounds.
So 40 pounds.
So all in all, I think that when we decided to use a cabin for this ferry ride, it worked out very well. We brought up some cheese and crackers so we didn't have to buy lunch on the ferry. Curt got all shaved up and clean. I actually cut my own hair. Chrome dome. I cut my own hair. The shower was perfect. It was a perfect 2.5 hours. But they just came over the intercom and said, it's time to head to the cars. That means we're in Scotland. Hold on. I'll show you the coast before we go. Let's hit the road. Welcome to Scotland. New country, depending on how you look at it. And it is a little bit after 2 o'clock. We had a nice ride on the ferry. Smooth sailing getting off the ferry. Now we have a few errands to run. We need to go to the grocery store and we need to go to the pet store. It's time to find litter. So after that, we think we can find us a campsite somewhere along the coast, settle in for our first night in Scotland, and then figure out what we're going to do while we're here. Right, Curdy?
Woo, Scotland!
Let's go run some errands. All right, we ran into the pet store. We got what we needed. Then we went to our favorite grocery store, it seems like, the Lidl. And it was okay. It wasn't the best Lidl, but we got the necessities and a few snacks. And of course, cat food for the monsters. Gee. Hey, buddy. So we're gonna put this stuff away, and then we're southbound along the coast looking for a campsite. Well, we found the perfect campsite. We're right on a beautiful rocky coast on the southwestern coastline of Scotland. We've already walked the kitties. They loved these little tall grassy things and the few little trails through them. So this is just a nice little grass patch on the side of the road. with no signs saying we can't park. There's a rooftop tent next to us. Hopefully nobody else will pull in. Nice place to spend the night for our first night in Scotland. Curt took a walk down to the water. I don't know if you can see him making his walk back up along the rocks. I don't know if he knows we're filming him. He doesn't look too graceful. But here he comes, and he'll give us a report of what the water looks like. Now, I need to comment also on this fantastic weather we have for our first day here in Scotland. Anything interesting down there?
Good footwork drill.
We saw that. All right, guys. After popping on the ferry, leaving Ireland, coming over to Scotland, having that first very peaceful night on the beach with the beautiful sunset, we have driven quite a ways across some of Scotland and into England, met up with some friends, turned off the cameras, chilled out for a few days, did laundry, did some editing. Then we have hopped back in our van and we are driving north. And we have a destination, a specific place we're going. We are going to the capital of Scotland, which is a city. It's the city of Edinburgh. And in pictures, this place is epic and beautiful. We are not heading there at this point in our journey to tour the city itself. We're heading there because we have friends flying in from Orlando back in the States to visit us for a week. And not only are they flying in for a visit, but they have rented their very own camper van and will be doing a whirlwind tour of some of the hot spots here in Scotland with us. So we're going to have neighbors for like the next week once they get here. But first, as we were driving in, the countryside here in Scotland is just beautiful. Everyone we've met so far is kind. We have settled into our parking place here. But that is when we have another little added bonus. Before the girls fly in, we have one of our subscribers, Yamini, who is from here and is going to drive her own van over here and meet up with us. So that's coming soon. But while all that is going on, in the background, we have a dilemma with our visitors coming from the States. And that is that a giant hurricane is headed for the state of Florida and could impact flights in and out. So we're watching that, we're staying in communication with them, and everybody cross your fingers that our friends can get over here without any interruptions. We'll learn more about that tomorrow. And for those that have been following the journey for a while, you may know one of our visitors because it is Ashley that came and did Machu Picchu with us all the way back in Peru. But we're settled into our parking spot here in the city of Edinburgh with a beautiful view of a place called, it looks like the Fettes College, and it is a beautiful building. Hopefully we'll be able to show it to you when it's not raining. But we're settling in here and we're getting ready for visitors.
So every once in a while in our journey, we get an extremely special treat. And today here in Edinburgh, is it Edinburgh, Scotland? Is that how you pronounce it? Edinburgh, Scotland. Yamini has been commenting on our videos, and we've been chit-chatting in the comments all the way since we were locked down on COVID in Mexico. And she was just a lovely person. And we were in town and we messaged each other and we're meeting up and we're hanging out in her lovely van.
Which she calls Gray.
The Gray.
The Gray.
The Gray. Now the Gray is an electric van.
All electric.
So we have had a million questions. Now she lives in the van and has for quite some time. And so it's fascinating. And we are just having a lovely chat.
And we're getting a sandwich.
She's making us a sandwich. Yamini is a vegetarian. So we are gonna be trying some new stuff today, so we're excited about that. It
smells good.
We already had some really good teas, and we're just having a delightful time hanging out and getting to know her. And so,
you know, sometimes you can know someone on the internet and it be one thing, and then you meet them in person and it's another. But as soon as we met her, instant hugs, she loved the kitties, and just a connection right away is what I would say.
Special.
Right, I feel right at home.
Special person,
Yeah,
for
very,
sure.
very, very special person. So
we're gonna have some lunch and we're gonna have some chats and we're gonna enjoy our time here in the van.
bye. We will see you again. No doubt in my mind.
Cheers.
Bye.
Lovely meeting you.
So we realized that it's been a really long time since we showed you guys how our shower works. We've even had people ask in the comments, where is your shower? I don't see it. Well, we just transformed the house into shower mode, took 2 showers, and now it's time to put it back. And I said, Curt, let's show these guys the shower before we put it back. So come here, I'll show you how this thing works. So normally right here, we would have like a stand-up closet organizer where we keep our sweaters and our jackets and some spare shoes and blankets and stuff like that. When we're not in shower mode, we call this the closet. Now on this side under here is our bathroom. But during shower mode, we move that closet box over here and the cushion over here. And we pick up the rug. What you guys never see is that under the rug is a drain. So that's where the water goes. Here is our shower. We have a handheld wand, you know, it can go in there. One very important thing when you're traveling in a van that we learned the hard way is up here on your little shower faucet, shower head thing, you want an extra valve to turn that completely off, because that thing can mysteriously come on while you're driving down the road and water goes everywhere. So that's a very important part. But we've got hot water thanks to our diesel hot water heater, and you may wonder about the doors. So when we close these doors, we literally have a full-size shower with a bench that I can sit on. And Curt was so brilliant when he was designing this thing. We even have waterproof storage underneath, which that's where the kitty litter lives. This is beyond a multi-use space. This is what it looks like when it's a shower. We have both fans going, one going in and one going out. That keeps the moisture going out. And I would say it takes us about 5 minutes to set the shower up, 10 minutes to take it down. Step 1, squeegee all the water off the walls and off my fancy shower bench and down into the drain. This is usually about when Curt takes over. It's a tag team effort, but for the closet box, it's kind of heavy. So he'll put that back in place. I'm gonna show you the shower when it's all put back together. And I forgot to mention, it's also the cat's kitchen. It's where their food lives. It's definitely a multi-use space. Hey Curt, stop and show them it's also a dining room if we need it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've showed them that because we very rarely use it, but we could both sit right here and eat if we wanted to. A lot of thought went into this space, guys. But here goes the heavy closet box. Coats, jackets, spare shoes put away, spare blanket put away, and our house is back to normal. Oh yeah, Curt's hat stuffed in the top. All right, guys, we'll see y'all in the morning. And we'll have guests. Good morning, guys. After our visit with Yemeni yesterday, parked just outside of the city of Edinburgh.
What a fun time.
Yeah, it
She's
really
a
was.
super special lady.
Yeah, really, really is. We have driven about 20 minutes first thing this morning, and we are parked at a parking lot about 10 minutes away from the airport because our friends will be landing any minute, and we're going to pick them up. Actually, they just messaged and they just landed, but they have to go through customs. We're going to go pick them up, and then we're going to go pick up their rented camper van.
So you guys are going to get the opportunity to see what it would be like to do a whirlwind tour, I think 8 days in Scotland. We'll show you their perspective on that, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. So that's what's going on. But now we're fixing to tackle the airport traffic, or wait, Curt is fixing to tackle the airport traffic. We have a beautiful weather day. It couldn't be a better way to welcome them in. Now, they did juggle a bunch of flights to get here because Hurricane Helen, I think they're calling her Helene or something like that, She was whammying the coast. They squirted out of there. You guys know my family's there, so that's something I'm watching today. I have not heard from them yet, and that storm went through last night. Now, of course, this video will come out later in the time, so we'll all know how things happened, but I am worried about my family right now, but happy that our friends made it. Let's go get them.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we have picked up our friends at the airport. And to say we're having some chaos and a rough start to their trip would be an understatement. First of all, Delta lost their bags. I won't go into all the details, but it wasn't a typical bag, losing. They really dropped the ball. Hopefully their suitcases will show up tomorrow. So we started by going to a store and letting them buy a few things to get by till tomorrow. They do have their carry-ons, but anyway, then we went to go pick up their rental camper. They used a company called Indie Campers who rents vans all over Europe, and I think they're even over in the United States. But that has been a really bad experience, and that's probably me putting it politely. First of all, it's chaos and unorganized when you show up. But when they're checking out, they actually told her that because she didn't check the box to order an extra bottle of propane in order to run the kitchen and the heater in the camper van she was renting, that none came with it. That she needed to tell them in advance that she would need propane to run the heater and the kitchen in the camper van she was renting. So she was like, okay, fine, I want a propane bottle. They wouldn't give her one. They told her she'd have to take the empty one that was in the van and go get it filled up. Now keep in mind, this parking lot was full of like 100 rental vans. I know somewhere there was a full bottle of propane. So they sent us to a BP station, a gas station down the road that's supposed to have them like it wouldn't be that big of a deal. We get here and they're out. So these poor girls have picked up a camper van from a company that is unorganized and asinine, and that's me being really, really nice, guys. And now they have no propane, so they cannot cook. They cannot run the heater in their van. Because their plane was delayed, they've lost their luggage. Our poor friend Ashley's a bit emotional.
Head southeast.
They're tired. They've been trying to run from the hurricane, which isn't Delta's fault and isn't the camper van's fault, but they're tired. They've been on the road for over 30 hours. So we have decided that we're going to just go to our parking spot because we can't leave Edinburgh because they don't have their suitcases yet. So we're going to go to our parking spot. We're going to give them all the blankets we have in our van, so hopefully they can stay warm tonight. Of course, Curt can cook them something in our van. I would say unless things drastically improve, that you're going to get from us a strong, strong, strong recommendation to never rent from the camper van company Indie Campers. Now, all we can hope for the sake of our friends is this gets a little smoother in the morning. They get some sleep tonight. We wake up, they're not as tired, and we go find some propane. We get on the road, we get their suitcases, and we can regroup and get this off to a much better start. But I wanted all of you out there to know, and I would hope you'd spread the word if you hear people thinking of renting from Indie Campers. That is not a good company. Oh, one more thing about them needing more blankets from us is they rented a van set up for double beds, and all that comes with it is one set of bed sheets. So they had to pay extra, even though they had already paid extra for a second bed. I'm not kidding, this place sucks. Good morning from a happy, happy van. Last time I talked to you guys, we were very, very upset with the rental van company, Indie Campers. Do not take this happiness as a sign that we are not still very, very upset with them. We do not like Indie Campers.
But the show must go on.
The show must go on. We came up with a plan. These two girls, which we have not formally introduced you to, and we will once we're done with breakfast and they're fully awake and they're dressed and they're not in their pajamas. You will get to meet them formally, don't worry. But they had to sleep in their van last night with no heat. and it is cold here. Now, we gave them all our extra blankets, and I gave them my fuzzy socks, and they survived, and they have had coffee and tea. But the good news is their luggage has showed up at the airport, which means we are resetting this vacation right now. The bad stuff is over. We are going to have fun today. We are headed to Glasgow, where we have some dinner reservations made by Kat and some cool stuff we want to see. The journey starts now. But to see the fun part of the journey that's all happy and exciting, you have to come back in a few days, because this is where we're winding this video down. Cheers, guys!
See you guys soon.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.